Hello everyone, my name is Yuniasi. Today we will learn about lichen. Have you ever seen a lichen and know that it was a lichen? Not many people know what lichens are and who would. Lichens are bizarre organisms and no two are alike. Lichens are a complex life form that is a symbiotic partnership of two separated organisms, a fungus and an alga. The dominant partner is the fungus, which gives the lichens the majority of its characteristics, from its stylus shape to its fruiting bodies. The alga can be either a green alga or a blue-green alga, otherwise known as cyanobacteria. Many lichens will have both types of alga. Isn't lichen that a mossy stuff on rocks and trees? When people think of lichens, many of them think of them as a kind of moss. That could not be further from the truth. Although moss and lichens are both called non-vascular plants, only mosses are plants. Mosses are included in a group of non-vascular plants called bryophytes. Mosses are believed to be the ancestor of the plants we see today, like trees, flowers, and ferns. Although mosses are very primitive, they still have plants like a structure that look like and function like a leaf, stems, and roots. They have chloroplasts throughout their entire body and can photosynthesize from all sides of their structure. Lichens, on the other hand, are completely different. Lichens do not have any roots, stems, or leaves, and their chloroplasts are contained only in the algae on the top surface of the lichen. When lichens and mosses do have in common are size and habitats. In fact, mosses retain water, which is what lichens use to prolong their growth cycles. That's why most lichen pictures will have mosses in the photos. Lichens are important for several reasons. One of the most obvious is that they are beautiful to look at. Without these living creatures hanging off of trees or clinging to rocks, our natural area would look pretty boring and a little more lifeless. Another important function of lichens is that they provide a mode of survival in harsh environments where algae cannot normally survive. Because lichens enable algae to live all over the world in many different climates, they also provide a means to convert carbon dioxide in the atmosphere through photosynthesis into oxygen, which we all need to survive. One of the ways lichens directly benefit humans is through their ability to absorb everything in their atmosphere, especially pollutants. Lichens can provide us with valuable information about the environments around us and assess the ecological impact of air pollutants. Lichens do not have a waxy cuticle like plants have on their leaves, nor do they have vascular tissue such as xylem and phloem to move nutrients and water around their thalli as a plant does. Everything in the lichen's environment is absorbed into the lichen structure. Lichens get their water and nutrients from their surrounding environments via air and rains. The general structure of a lichen is composed of a layer of fungus and alga. Structure of a lichens. Cortex. The cortex is the outer layer of the lichen thallus. These cells are thicker and more closely packed than the other fungal cells in the lichens. These layers provide some small measure of protection, as well as provides color in some species. Alga layer. The alga layer, about 3 times as wide as cortex, consists of a tightly packed alga cells enveloped by a fungal hyphae from the medulla. You can usually tell what kind of alga a lichen has just by a color alone. When a lichen is dry, its color is usually gray or colored like the fungal cells on the upper cortex. When a lichen is wet, those cells become transparent, and the alga cells underneath get a change to show their vibrance. Medulla. The majority of the lichen thallus is comprised of fungal filaments called the medulla. It is made of fungal cells that are loosely packed in the middle of the lichen thallus, have thin cell walls, and are thread-like. The result is a carton-like substance underneath the outer cortex. Basal attachment. Lichens attack to their substrate by different means. Rhizines are fungal filaments that extend from the medulla and attack the lichens to its substrate. Rhizines have no vascular capabilities like the roots in a plant. They do not move water or nutrients to the lichens. They simply hold the lichens down to whatever it is sitting on. Holdfast. It is an extension of the lichen thallus. Instead of many rhizines, some lichens have a central peg or holdfast that attack to the substrate, generally a rock. This type of foliose lichens are called umbilicate lichens, since the central holdfast is like an umbilical cord. There are 3 main types of lichens: foliose lichens, fruticose lichens, and crustose lichens. Foliose lichens. Foliose lichens have two easily distinguishable sides. In other words, there is a top side and there is a bottom side. They can be very flat, leafy like a lettuce, or convoluted and full of ridges and bumps. Cuticose lichens. Cuticose lichens can be pendant and hair-like, upright and shrubby, or upright and a cup-like. Many fruticose lichens have round branches that have a central core and others are hollow in the middle. Other fruticose lichens have flat branches that tangle up with each other. Crustose lichens. Crustose lichens are just that, crust. They form a crust over a surface, like a boulder, the soil, a car, or your roof shingles. They can come in a many bright, vibrant colors like a sunny yellow, orange, and red, as well as gray and green. Crustose lichens are pressed against their substrate. Lichens are unique in that they are composed of 2 or more different species, or in fact kingdoms. Lichens are different. Unlike plants that can produce seeds that grow into new plants, lichens do not have a straightforward way to grow more lichens. Since the fungus is the dominant partner in the relationship, it gets to develop its breathing body and produce spores. These spores can produce another fungus. But unfortunately for the alga, it does not get the opportunity to reproduce at all. Either the new fungus has to find an alga partner or it perishes. Of course, evolution must go on, and lichens have adapted to their specific struggle. These organisms can vegetatively reproduce, that is, they have structure specifically developed for the spores of fragments of their thalli, with both partners. Not only are there specific vegetative structure, but the simple fragments of lichens can grow into full-size thalli. That's a little information about lichens I could give. Hope you can understand it, and thank you for watching. Bye!